Ash and I am back with another video. I'm super duper excited because we are finishing up the Napoleon series and I'm going to be watching Napoleon's Revenge, Wagram 1809 by Epic History TV. Now Napoleon just had his first loss in Aspern, and also one of his marshals died, Marshal Lannes. So I know that Napoleon is extremely upset and disappointed in himself that he was actually defeated. But you know what? You win some, you lose some. But your boy is out for revenge, and we about to find out what's about to happen. If you guys would like to check out my other Napoleon series or my other Epic History TVs, the link will be up at the top. And if you guys haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Hit that red button so you can be a part of the family. Don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up. It does help the channel. Enough of me talking, y'all. Let's get straight into this reaction.
An Epic History TV History March collaboration. In May 1809, the Austrians had defeated Napoleon's army in the bloody Battle of Aspern.
I know they were like shocked that Napoleon retreated. They probably didn't even know what to do with themselves. They probably was like shocked, stoked, like, I don't know. Like, I know, you know, they probably were like confused that they actually won. Like, I know I would have been kind of scared too.
His enemies took heart. After years of French military dominance, it seemed the tide was turning at last. 3 weeks later, Pope Pius VII excommunicated Napoleon for annexing papal land. Another propaganda coup for his enemies. But in the wake of its victory, Austria hesitated, not sure whether to seek peace or continue the war. One.
Continue the war? What you mean seek peace? Are you crazy? Napoleon, no, I don't think Napoleon want peace. He's gonna want blood. You just killed, first of all, he seemed like he's, you know, real kind of like arrogant, I guess you would say. So I don't think that he would be okay with losing. He's gonna want blood, and he just lost one of his marshals. Man, you better finish what you done started. You made him retreat. You killed one of his marshals. Finish what you started. Period.
Napoleon responded with a hurricane of activity. He summoned reinforcements to join him near Vienna. The Army of Italy, under his stepson Eugène de Beauharnais, and 11th Corps under Marshal Marmont, who'd together driven Archduke John's Austrian army out of North Italy, as well as Marshal Bernadotte's Saxon 9th Corps. Napoleon's army grew from 90,000 to a massive 164,000 men and 544 guns to take on Charles's army of 128,000 and 414 guns.
So now he has
6 weeks after his first attempt had ended in defeat, Napoleon ordered his army to cross the river once more.
Isn't this
time,
river?
His engineers had built solid bridges across the Danube to ensure there was no repeat of the disasters of Aspern.
Yeah, because I was about to say that they had a lot of issues in Aspern with the bridges. The bridges kept falling apart. So I guess, you know, they switched it up a little bit and built a better bridge. I probably still would have been kind of like worried about that, but I guess they figured it out.
For the French army, Napoleon declared, the Danube no longer exists. The stage was set for the largest battle yet seen in European history. If you think our Napoleon series has made you a master of tactics and strategy, put your skills to the test in Vikings War of Clans, generous sponsors of this video. Napoleon's rules of concentration of force and decisive action will serve you well. as you battle for dominance alongside up to 3 million other users in a single event.
Must have been deep.
This is highly addictive military and resource-based mayhem that caters for many styles of play. Build yourself a medieval Maginot line and await enemy assault. Or play like Napoleon and launch your own Berserker Blitzkrieg before the enemy knows you're coming. Use the link in the video description to download Vikings for free. Support the channel and get a special bonus of 200 gold coins and a protective shield that may just save your life. Thanks again to Vikings War of Clans for supporting this video.
It's a good job. You're not any taller. Oh.
On the evening of the 4th of July, in heavy rain, the French began crossing from the island of Lobau, not towards the devastated villages of Aspern and Essling, but east towards Groß-Enzersdorf, which was soon ablaze from French shells. Archduke Charles had left only a small advance guard to delay the French. By dawn, General Massena's 4th Corps and Oudinot's 2nd Corps were driving those troops back, winning space for the French army to deploy. At 1 p.m., Napoleon was ready to begin his advance across 6 miles of flat cornfields towards the main Austrian position, an escarpment known as the Wagram, 100 meters behind the Russbach stream. As General Lasalle's light cavalry and Massena's 4th Corps swung left to guard the flank, Oudinot's 2nd Corps and Davout's 3rd Corps advanced towards the Wagram. But
I don't know, for some reason it seems it seems as if the Austrians, it seems like Charles's army, like the position that they're in, I don't know. I feel like it's weird. It just looks weird. Like they're just they're just scattered all over the place. Maybe this is like some type of tactic, but I don't know. I don't think that the positions that they're in is a great position, but I could be wrong.
Bernadotte's Saxon Corps and Eugene's Army of Italy filled the center. At 6 p.m., unsure of the enemy's strength, Napoleon ordered a full-scale assault against the Wagram Plateau. But his troops met determined Austrian resistance along the line. By dusk, the Saxon 9th Corps had pushed into the village of Deutsch Wagram. The Saxon infantry wore white uniforms, like the Austrians, and as darkness fell, were mistaken for the enemy and fired on by friendly units. The Saxons panicked and fled with heavy losses.
Wow.
Napoleon's attempt at a quick breakthrough had failed. That night, both armies slept in the open, while Charles and Napoleon planned their next moves.
Okay. So the position that the position that the Austrians were in actually worked in their advantage. I knew it had to be a reason. The Battle of Day 2.
On the second day, Napoleon planned for Davout's 3rd Corps to lead the attack, rolling up the Austrian flank, while his other corps pinned down the enemy with local attacks. But to the Emperor's fury, he learned that overnight, without orders, Marshal Bernadotte had withdrawn his battered Saxons from Aderklaa, which the Austrians now occupied. Aderklaa was a crucial strongpoint in the center of the battlefield. Napoleon gave orders for its immediate recapture, but the French and Saxon attack failed, with heavy losses. The Austrians had their own problems. Archduke Charles, knowing he faced a superior enemy, had decided his only chance of victory lay in an all-out dawn attack. He was relying on his brother, Archduke John, reaching him with 13,000 reinforcements, in time to support the attack on the left. But by dawn, there was still no sign of him.
Bad move.
What's more, as 4th Corps began its assault on Grosshofen on time, 3rd Corps, which had received its orders late, was still getting into position, holding up the entire Austrian right wing. Charles had to tell 4th Corps to abort its unsupported attack until the other corps were ready. With the Austrians paralyzed by delays, at 10 a.m., Davout began his attack.
With his brother.
A fierce infantry battle erupted in the village of Markgraf Neusiedl, while in the fields, dragoons and hussars fought a giant whirling cavalry battle as each side tried to outflank the other. Davout's corps took the village, though they couldn't stop the Austrians withdrawing to a strong new position on the Wagram escarpment. Meanwhile, a serious threat had developed to Napoleon's left flank and rear. Klenau's 6th Corps had driven back the outnumbered French, with some units advancing as far as Essling, dangerously close to Napoleon's vital river crossings. Napoleon urgently needed to reinforce his left flank, but he was also determined to hold back his reserves for a decisive attack. So he ordered Massena's 4th Corps to march across the battlefield and reinforce the left. A huge redeployment like this, right in front of the enemy, was high risk. So Marshal Bessières was ordered to lead a cavalry attack straight against the enemy centre. Casualties were high. Even Marshal Bessières had his horse killed under him to the alarm of his men. But the enemy was kept busy, while 4th Corps completed its redeployment and forced Klenau's corps to fall back.
I'm not gonna lie, I honestly kind of like want Napoleon to like lose at this point because I don't know why. I feel like he's the villain.
Napoleon now assembled a grand battery of more than 80 cannon in the center of the battlefield. This was one of Napoleon's trademark tactics, a concentration of artillery to blast the enemy line and pave the way for a decisive French attack. The grand battery fired an estimated 15,000 rounds, setting light to the cornfields. Around 1 p.m., Napoleon ordered a general attack. As Davout continued to batter at the enemy flank, 4th Corps would advance on the left, 2nd Corps on the right, while in the centre, General MacDonald would lead forward 8,000 men of the Army of Italy, formed up in a giant three-sided square to secure his flanks. But despite the terrible French cannonade, Austrian 3rd Corps and Grenadiers of the Reserve met the French advance with torrential fire. MacDonald's giant square was cut to pieces, its men mowed down en masse by cannon fire, and the attack stalled. But the Austrian army, battered by relentless French attacks, was near breaking point. Every part of the line was under pressure from the French. Archduke Charles, determined above all to keep his army intact, ordered a retreat. The Austrian withdrawal was disciplined and well executed. Napoleon had his victory. But his army was also so shattered by fatigue and heavy losses, it was unable to launch any effective pursuit. The Battle of Wagram was a brutal slugging match, the biggest and bloodiest battle yet seen in European history. French victory came at unprecedented cost. An estimated 37,500 casualties against 41,500 Austrian. 4 days later, French troops caught up with the retreating Austrians at Znaim. As the fighting escalated, Charles knew he could not withstand the French a second time and asked for a ceasefire. But he had not consulted his older brother, Emperor Francis, who was furious when he heard the news.
So what was he
Not least because long-awaited British support was finally on the way. 3 weeks after the Battle of Znaim, the largest amphibious force Britain had ever assembled, 35 ships of the line and 39,000 troops landed at Walcheren Island on the Scheldt estuary. Its aim was to destroy French shipping and naval stores. But following the successful bombardment and capture of Vlissingen, British commanders let the initiative slip from their grasp. Their force was bottled up by French troops on the marshy Dutch coast, where it was decimated by fever and dysentery. About 4,000 died. Many more became permanent invalids.
Wow.
The survivors were evacuated back to England in December. Emperor Francis, informed of the British debacle and persuaded by his generals that Austria couldn't fight on, made peace with Napoleon. In October, Austria signed the Treaty of Schönbrunn, giving up territory to the French Empire, Bavaria, Saxony, the Duchy of Warsaw, and Russia.
Wow.
In total, the Austrian Empire was stripped of 3.5 million subjects, forced to pay an indemnity, limit its army to 150,000 men, and join Napoleon's continental system, which meant ending all trade with British ships and merchants. Archduke Charles, meanwhile, one of Napoleon's more skilled opponents, had fallen out so bitterly with his brother, Emperor Francis, that he never held active command again. Napoleon had won another crushing victory, but there were worrying signs for the French emperor. His enemies were learning, while he would increasingly have to rely on young conscripts to fill the gaps left by veterans killed or wounded on campaign. Few could have guessed in 1809, but Napoleon had just fought his last victorious campaign. You can now support Epic History TV by shopping for
brother wanted him to do. Where was he at when he was losing in Wagram? He was nowhere to be found. Like, he was waiting on his brother to come and help him, and he never showed up. So if his back is up against the wall, what did he want the man to do? It was either he was going to die or make peace. Because if he died, regardless of what, it's still, Napoleon still won either which way, right? Right? I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what other series you guys want me to watch. Don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up. It does help the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, fam.